Delicious Orie, 22. Student, university, economics and management. I'm studying that at the university. So business and money and all that, mixing that together, economics. Obviously, it depends on the main thing is I've got to finish my studies first. I'm in the last year of university, get that out of the way, so I can then focus on the road ahead when it comes to taking it full time. I'd say my dad. My dad obviously called me Delicious. That was from my dad. I'm not sure why. Still this day, still don't know what the main purpose behind it was. But my dad always tells me that it's a name that will do you good in the future. And he's always told me that ever since I was a kid, it's a name that will do you good in the future. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. So maybe it's doing me good now. I don't know. In 5 years' time, I see myself winning a lot more medals as an amateur boxer, and being a professional boxer. Aiming, for the British titles. One day the world title. So I started boxing at the age of 18, quite late, but I felt it was inspiring me to start, this sport. I've always wanted to do it as a child, but I've never really been given the opportunity to, from schools, growing up or anything like that. But when I started at the age of 18, I thought this is what I want to do and I'm going to pursue it until the end, until I achieve what I want to achieve. It is just time management and, making sure I'm doing the right thing at the right time, as well with the right people, and, I'm not making, stupid, silly mistakes here and there. So, making sure I go to training, coming back, then managing my time to then do my work and then help out, give back to charities if I have to. Yeah. Definitely that's something I need to and I will start doing a lot more of, because I feel like when I started, because I come from a basketball background and I was, in these community projects that helped me find my inner confidence and find my inner ability to be able to achieve the things I want to achieve now. So now being able to give back, to the kids is something that I would love to do. I'll say my core value, the thing that defines me, I think, is just being respectful. I'd say, one, being very respectful, respecting others. I feel like if I put my mind to something, I will achieve that thing. So I think maybe that stems from self-discipline. I feel like I've got a good level of self-discipline. So I think that's the core. That's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing at university and boxing. I think the most important thing around everything I'm doing is self-discipline. Well, I was born in Russia. So I was born in Moscow. I came here at the age of 7 years old. So English is not my first language. I wasn't born and bred here, but I picked it up quick. So yeah, when I was at the BYSA, it was interesting to see the kids that some of them I could tell they wasn't born and bred here. They're all some of them are from other countries, and it hit me quite personally when I was speaking to them, because when I was asking me questions, they were trying to get their wordings out, asking me these personal things, and I'm like, I could kind of relate to that. At their age, I was the same, and I just wanted to get a point across that they can achieve whatever the hell they want to achieve. It doesn't matter what situation they're in, where they come from. It doesn't really matter. And especially in a place like the UK, where the opportunities are there, you just need the right people to show you that is is possible. So I know that I am putting all the work, everything I can possibly do to get to that final stage, which then I can show the people around how much work I've been putting, and I feel like that's what gives me the confidence and the courage to step in the ring. It takes a lot of courage to step in the ring, especially if you haven't trained for it, But if you've trained and you're confident, it becomes easier. Over time, it becomes less of a kind of a stress, and it just becomes like you can get into this so-called flow state where you're in there and you're just enjoying yourself. My slogan is, and it's fairly simple, and I feel like if anyone carries the slogan, they will live a much happier life, which is whatever it is you're doing in life, enjoy it, because that's all that matters. I have an amazing upbringing, and I feel like that's where I could say I'm quite lucky in that sense. I've had, I have an amazing mom and dad, amazing siblings that push me on and, get me, to the place I want to get to and support me whatever I want to do. So yeah, I would say I had a very good upbringing. A typical day, very busy, very busy day, up and down. To be fair, I'm either doing two major things. I'm either training, I'm either at university, just catching up on work. So yeah, a lot of studying, a lot of training. Quite boring, no social life, but it is what it is. Yes, currently I am. Actually, this is my first ever relationship. I thought, I'll never get in one because I'm so focused. Boxing is, a one-man sport. But, over time, you become to realize that, yes, it's a one-man sport, but you cannot achieve success without cooperation, which is what I'm listening. I don't know if you heard of Napoleon Hill, but that's someone I've been kind of listening to and kind of reading. And he says that you can't get somewhere without an alliance of a mindset, of a specific mindset. So you need the right people around you to achieve what I want to achieve personally. And my girl, for example, she's one of the people that allowed me to put myself together and achieve what I want to achieve. So as long as, that's what I tell everyone, as long as you have that person, it could be a mum, it could be a dog, as long as you have that person that allows, that sees your vision. When you're good, you can go 3 times as fast as you go. Obviously, you got the obvious, Muhammad Ali. Come on, who isn't the idol? But I'll say Anthony Joshua hit me quite personally because obviously I studied his past and his background, how he got to where he's got to, and that's what really kind of got me up my chair, allowed me to do what I'm doing now. And I'd say as well, personally, my dad is a very good role model to me. He's a very hard worker, and I'm trying to kind of reflect that, not through what he's doing, but through boxing. So yeah. When I'm in there, I'm just trying to think now, I'm just trying to vision myself in there. When I'm in there, I'm in a state where I don't think about anything else. There's nothing else that I think about. So I'm there, I'm looking at the opponent, I'm just sizing him up, I'm just trying to see, okay, what am I going to do to beat this guy? In my mind, subconsciously, I know I've won. I have won the fight, but I'm looking at it strategically. How am I going to win the fight? I've won it, but how am I going to win it? And that's how I always approach it. There's nothing else, no one else that I can consciously know that I'm connected to at that moment in time. It's just me and the guy. And then obviously in between the breaks, my coach. But that's what goes on. It's easier because firstly you're trying to survive in there, so you haven't got time to think about anybody else. And but no, it's naturally, well, for me anyway, you block out everything else that's around outside the ring, and you just focus on you and the other man on the other side. My main message is, I am, like you said, I'm coming, and I will work hard. With the time I've been given, everyone's given the same amount of time. I'll be working extremely hard in that time to be able to achieve what I want to achieve, and I'll be enjoying it as well. It'll be a journey that I'm looking forward to. So we'll see what happens.